Hey everybody, it's Karen. Thanks for stopping by today. If this is your first time here, you're at the Loft and that makes you wicked smart. I am so excited for today's video because really, is it me or does a cloche just scream spring? Thanks so much to Tami at Happiness Created and Shawni from Glitzy Stitches Home DIY for hosting this challenge today. I am so happy to be a part of this playlist, and I will have all of the other creators listed in my description box below, so make sure to check all of them out. Okay, so with that being said, I can't wait. Let's get going with cloche number 1. Okay, so for this DIY, you're going to need one of these tree collars from the Dollar Tree. You're going to need one of these round signs, also from the Dollar Tree. And one of these garden bell cloches in the garden section from the Dollar Tree. So we're going to take this sign, and I've already gone ahead and filled in the little seams of the frame and given it a fresh coat of white paint. And I'm going to take my antique wax and coat the whole thing with antique wax. And then I'm going to get the base out, and I'm going to remove the lettering with some 100% acetone nail polish remover. And now I'm going to go in with some antique wax, and I'm just going to age this a little bit and dirty it up to take down the shine. All right, so now we're going to take some Mod Podge and some cinnamon, and we're going to create a crusty, rusty faux finish on this mini tree skirt. And I'm going to dab some Mod Podge around the edges, along the seam where the metal comes together, and down along the edge where the water might collect and where the rust might naturally start to form. And once I get a good coat of that while it's still wet, I'm going to go in and shake the cinnamon all over top. And then I'll brush off the excess, and then I'm going to go over that with a little bit more antiquing wax.
Baby, read the fine print. I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming. Oh, were we made to fall? No, I'm not lonely when solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty.
Look at that awesome finish, you guys. I just love this technique. You should give it a try if you haven't already. So now we're going to take this little cloche, and that top pops right off where the vents are for your little sprigs of whatever it is you're trying to grow in the spring. And these holes on the top aren't always centered, but we're going to change that. We're going to fix that problem. When we put the cover on, we'll cover those up. So I'm just going to kind of go over this with some alcohol and get all the residue off from the sticker and get that cleaned up. And these things are pretty flimsy. If you saw, I was pushing it on the sides. The top is okay. You can kind of put a little pressure on the top and it would be okay. But so you can see here, I did the same finish on the mason jar cover. And I added this little finial that I get from Hobby Lobby. And they have little nubs on them. So I just kind of poked a hole in it with a big fat nail and kind of pried it open with some pliers and glued that into place. And I'm going to glue that on the top of this cloche, covering up those vent holes. And I've got my hot glue on high, and I'm putting my glue on the inside of the cover. And I'm sorry if I go a little bit out of frame, but I'm putting the glue all on the inside in hopes that it's going to kind of drip down onto so I don't really have the glue seeping out from the sides. I'm going to hold that down till it cools off and it sets up, and that works pretty good. And then I went in and I trimmed a little bit off of the edge of that rim on the bottom because it was a little bit too wide. And there is our cloche. I love that rusty, crusty finish on the galvanized metal. Okay, so now we're going to make some little accessories for our cloche. And I got some of these peat pots on Amazon. They were super cheap, like 10 of them for maybe less than $6. And I took this calendar from this year and cut out the small image on the back that says the fresh carrots. And I'm going to glue that to the front of this little pot and then kind of go over it with some antique wax. I already did that off camera, and now I'm gonna fill it with some Spanish moss, and I'm gonna add these little jute carrots from the Dollar Tree, and I did go in with a dry brush with some of my antique wax on it and kind of dirty them up a little bit. Doesn't really show up that great on camera, but I did. And then I'm going to take some garden stakes that I got at Target at the dollar spot, and I'm going to make a little sign for our cloche. So you can see that was pretty simple. I just stained the stake with some antique wax and did the writing by hand. But you could use a Cricut if you had a Cricut. And that's it for this one. Here is our final reveal.
Baby, read the fine print. I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming. Oh, what we made to fall. No, I'm not lonely when solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open, I gave it till empty. Got it all back by myself, now nobody can tempt me. If I turn off, I breathe in, embrace it on my own. Can't keep making exits from the pressure, lessons after lessons. Had to question these glaring design flaws. Can't keep love built from a love song. No, I'm not only with solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open. I gave and 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 I. And if I'm better off alone, breathe in, embrace it on my own. And if I'm better off alone, breathe in, embrace it on my own.
Okay, you guys, now it's time for cloche number 2. And in this one, we're going to also need a mini tree skirt from the Dollar Tree. And we're going to need some of these wood rounds from the Dollar Tree. We're going to need 4 of them. If you don't have 4 of them, 2 of them will do. And you're going to need some 1/2-inch beads. I use the ones that I get at Walmart. At Christmas time, the garland, it's really cheap when it goes on sale. If you don't have it on the garland, you're going to need about 70 1/2-inch beads. And we're going to need a mason jar lid and an extra lid without the rim. And this old finial that I had that came off of a lamp. So I'm going to give this a base coat of black chalk paint, and then I'm going to go over that with some polyurethane because I want to dry brush some white over it. And if you don't seal it first, it's just going to be a gray, muddy mess. And I wanted to do that because I already have the top of this cloche, which is a hanging flower basket from the Dollar Tree that I had already painted with a white distressed and a antique wax finish on it for another DIY, and I wanted to use that for the top of this cloche. So I wanted the bottom to match that paint finish. So I'll just let the music play out while you watch me do my thing.
And if I'm better off alone, breathe in, embrace it on my own. And if I'm better off alone, I'll breathe in, embrace it on my own. Baby, read the fine print. I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming.
Okay, so here is the hanging basket, and you can see underneath there that I took the extra mason jar lid and I glued that up underneath, and I did the same finish on that, the white with a little bit of antiquing wax over top, and I also did the same treatment on the lid. I did the white with, did the black and then put some white, and then I put a little bit of antique wax. And you can see that I just kind of did a very light brush just to kind of highlight those raised areas. And you can see here up close on the lid, same thing, very subtle, just a little bit, just to dirty it up a little bit. So now we're going to take this top and I'm going to glue it onto this wire basket, and I'm using my hot glue just for the purposes of this video, but you should really use some super glue or some E6000 because the only place that it really makes contact is on the little spines of the basket. But for this purpose it worked fine, but do as I say, not as I do in this case. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the tray for this base. Now, if you've been following me for a minute, you know that I like to double up on the Dollar Tree wood cutouts and their wood rounds. So I have got 2 of them glued together, one for the top, one for the bottom, and then I clamped all around the edges until that dried. And you can see right there, I painted my beads white. Okay, now I painted them first. I kept them on the string. This is why I like to use garland when I'm making these trays. I kept it on the string. I laid some glue down on the tray and I just placed the string of beads into the glue, let it dry, put the top on. After I put some more glue on the top of the beads, I laid the top of the tray down, and then I weighted it down with some paint cans and let that dry overnight. Now again, I'm using my hot glue to put this on. I don't want you to do that. I want you to use super glue. So here's your final reveal.
I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming. What we made to fall. No, I'm not lonely when solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open. I gave until empty. Got it all back by myself. Now nobody can tempt me. If I better off alone, breathe in, embrace it on my own. Can't keep making exits from the pressure. Lessons after lessons.
So cute, right? So Farmhouse. I love this one. Now here we go with number 3. Okay, so this is our final DIY for today. We're going to need one of these little high mini cloches. They come out at Christmas time from the Dollar Tree. 3 of their little jute carrots, some white and black chalk paint, some antique wax, and some Mod Podge, and some cinnamon, and a little bit of metallic acrylic paint. So I'm going to take the label off of this cloche, and I'll wipe it down with some alcohol to get the residue off from the sticker. But we're going to work with this base. We're going to put the top aside. We're going to work with the base, and we're going to make it look like rusty galvanized metal. So first I'm going to brush on some black just to kind of take down the shine of the plastic. And I'm only working on the outside edge. I don't need to do the inside. We're going to cover that with reindeer moss. So I'm just doing the outside edge. I'm going to get some black chalk paint on there. And while that's wet, using the same brush, I'm going to sponge on some white and kind of blend that all in. And then I will go in and dab on tiny little bits of the metallic paint. Just using a very light hand to add a little bit of shine. And that's kind of what brings it all together and makes it look galvanized.
Baby, read the fine print. I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming. Were we made to fall? No, I'm not lonely when solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open. I gave until empty. Got it all back by myself. Now nobody can tempt me. If I better off alone, breathe in, embrace it on my own. Can't keep making exits from the pressure. Lessons after lessons. Had to question these glaring design flaws. Can't keep love built from a love song. No, I'm not only with solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open. I gave and 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 I. And if I'm better off alone, breathe in, embrace it on my own.
Okay, so I'm going to put that aside and let that dry before I go in and do the rusty finish on it. And I'm going to clean up my area here and get my dome. And I'm going to see the top there where there's that little dimple in the top of that. And take my hot glue gun and I'm going to melt a hole inside the top of that. Got to work at it a little bit and push it through, but eventually it'll melt and you'll get a hole. So then I'm going to take my carrots, I'm going to attach them to some jute string, and then I'm going to take all 3 of those and I'm going to thread it up through the top of the cloche so that they are dangling. I don't want them to hit the bottom of the cloche. I want them to dangle, right? Because we want to tease that bunny. So I'll just let this play out while you watch how I get these carrots inside the cloche.
Breathe Baby, read the fine print. I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming. Oh, oh, were we made to fall? No, no, I'm not lonely when solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open I gave until empty. Got it all back by myself, now nobody can tempt me. If I turn off, breathe in, sit on my own. Can't keep making exits from the pressure. Lessons after lessons, had to question these glaring design flaws. Can't keep love built from a love song. No, I'm not only with solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open I gave.
Okay, so I got the carrots all strung up and I got them through the top of the hole. And now I'm going to add a wooden bead to the top. And I'm going to knot that in so the carrots stay in place. And I'm going to hand write a tiny little tag that says bunny bait. And then I'm going to add some Spanish moss. Oh no, then we go back to the base. Okay, so here we get the little carrots and you can see they're dangling. And now I think I go back to the base and now we're going to do that crusty rusty finish on the outside of the base of this cloche.
Baby, read the fine print. I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming. Oh, were we made to fall? No, I'm not lonely when solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open I gave until empty. Got it all back by myself, now nobody can tempt me. If I turn off, breathe in, sit on my own. Can't keep making exits from the pressure. Lessons after lessons, had to question these glaring design flaws. Can't keep love built from a love song. No, I'm not only with solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open I gave. And if I'm better off alone, breathe in, embrace it on my own. And if I'm better off alone, breathe in, embrace it on my own. I've had my heart broken, crushed, yet I survived it. Refresh love, I've been reminded.
Oh my gosh, look at that, you guys. I can't get enough. I just love this finish. So presto magic. Here we go. It's all filled up with some reindeer moss. And I'm going to put it all together now with a little candlestick, a little mini candlestick that I get from Hobby Lobby. And this is perfect for this project because it has that little hole for the candle. And these little bases have like a little nub at the bottom, right in the middle. And it fits right in there perfectly. I'm going to put my little tag on. I'm going to put this all together. And this project will be finished. And that's it for today's, guys. So if you really found some value in what you learned today, you know how to show me the love and push all the buttons and do all those things, those YouTubey things. And if you create one of these, please reach out. Give me a call. If you need help, I'm happy to help. Happy to answer any questions that you have, as always. And follow me on Instagram if you're on Instagram, because it's a really good place to chat and connect and talk to me if you need help or if you just want to say hi and reach out and become a member of the Loft. And here it is, guys. Here's our final reveal.
Baby, read the fine print. I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming. Oh, oh, were we made to fall? No, no, I'm not lonely when solo and solely exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken so open, I gave until empty. Got it all back by myself, no nobody can tempt me. If I better off alone, I'll breathe in, embrace it on my own.
That's it for today, guys. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, the notification bell, all those things that you need so you don't miss my next video. Happy spring!